Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for looking in. So here we are up in the loft at the main Super 4 layout, and as you can see on the downward main line the little Ginty is pulling the track cleaning wagon. I don't clean the track that often now, it's mainly nickel plated, but it's a good idea to give it a quick run round with the track cleaning wagon occasionally. I did the upward main line while I had a cup of coffee earlier. So we've just got the downward one to do and a little bit of the up and over, so we'll get on with that in a minute. Now, before we have our running session today, I thought I'd give you a quick update following Sunday's extra little workshop video. Now, I did a little video on Sunday showing progress in the workshop, what's happening, and I was pleased to be able to fix my nickel plating plant, which has been out of action now for some weeks. So I showed you the power pack and how I fixed it. And at the end of the video I'd got the plating tank fitted with rails and up and running. So here's an update. I was plating some left-hand point rails, so I have in fact rebuilt two left-hand points now to make this crossover. And while I've got this in my hand, I'll show you where it is going. On the main lines over there, there's a crossover, and they're still old unserviced points. Now, I've got nickel plated track both sides of that crossover, so I'm looking forward to getting these points in sometime during the week. And indeed, on the far side of the layout is another crossover, so I want to get both these working now. So I'll get some point motors on, because it just means I can utilise the bidirectional branch line from the downward main line. So that'll involve getting these actually working with point motors, and then I can get some great new movements around the layout. Now also I did some other plating. I've got a couple of straight rails there, third radius curves, and a pair of double third radius curves, and some extra long straights. Now these, I really like these because I've got some long stretches on the layout and they just make it so that there's not so many joins. They're the most difficult of the rails to plate because of the length, but they seem to be coming out okay at the moment. This also means that I'll be able to get some more points and bits and bobs done and get finally this Locos storage yard up and running. I'm particularly looking forward to getting this old Super 4 turntable operational. I'm looking forward to being able to drive some Locos on that and spin them round a bit. Also, we could perhaps get some engine sheds up, so there's quite a bit to look forward to. Now, in Sunday's video I was busy servicing some Locos, and one of those is this really nice Hornby Duchess of Sutherland. We've had a few tender drives on recently. This is my newest Loco, probably in my whole collection actually, from Hornby. It's about 1978, R066, Coronation class Duchess of Sutherland. So that's pulling the same rake of coaches that the Evening Star was pulling in the last running session, with the addition of a couple of horse boxes. So that's going to be on the upward line shortly. On the downward main line, a freight service again, slightly shorter than last week's, and instead of the 9F we've actually got an 8F this week. I'm looking forward to running this. They're great looking Locos. It's the Wren W2225 L.M.S. We have seen this before. Great runner, but we can't bring that out yet until the Ginty's finish the track cleaning, and also we can't really bring the Sutherland, the Duchess of Sutherland, out until we get this little saddle tank out the way. I don't know quite what it's doing here. It's got a couple of wagons and it just needs putting away somewhere, so we'll let that go round the upward line just for a minute, because I've just got a couple of things to take care of. I've got to tidy these rails away, put them somewhere safe so we can run these other Locos. So let me just get this organised and then we'll continue with our running session. So I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, so I've tidied away all the bits of rail and everything else that was on the layout, and we've got these 2 tank locos going around the main line. So while the Ginty carries on the downward main line, little saddle tank is coming along the upward, and we're going to get it off onto the double track loop. So I'm opening points C, and I'm just going to bring this round to a stop. That's great. Now, got to remember to put point C back to curved, and then the Ginty I'm going to open points E, and that now is coming through quite nicely onto the up and over branch line. So let's watch it go up the incline. It's going up there really well, over the 2 girder bridges, and then we're going to slow it down as it comes down the other side towards the station and bring it to a halt probably just under that footbridge, not far from the back of the Duchess of Sutherland. So okay, what have we got to do now? Points E back to curve. Well, that's got the tank wagons out of the way. Just finished pushing the track cleaning wagon over that branch line as well, so done with that for the day. So the first loco we're going to get out is the one we haven't seen before on the layout, the Duchess of Sutherland. So I need to open points G, or set them to curved, and then all being well I should be able to drive this Coronation class loco and its rake of coaches onto the upward main line. So just easing it out gently over the points. Remembering to set points G to straight, and then I think we can try and set this to a nice cruising speed and enjoy look at it as it approaches the camera. Now, as I pointed out in my video on Sunday, this later type of Ringfield motor that's in the tender of this is quite a fragile looking item. Hardly any metal in the case, all clipped together as well, not screwed, so I can see why a lot of people don't like them. Indeed, one person commented that they'd removed all their later Ringfields and replaced them with the earlier metal Fleischmann copy. That's a great motor too. I quite like this version, it runs nicely, it's got some good, they look like sintered bearings for the armature to run in. It's just that splitting the motor is not easy. Listen to that, it runs nice and quietly. You can hear the rolling stock wheels going over all the junctions, the points and the crossovers. It's a totally useless accessory in this Duchess of Sutherland. It does have illumination in the front buffer beam. You have to have it going around the layout at virtually flat out speeds to see anything. I'm not going to bother trying to show you, but what I might do is see whether I can build a little LED conversion using a voltage regulator so that anything over 3 volts it's on quite brightly. So that might be a project for another day. But as you can see, it runs really nicely and smoothly like all the tender drive locos. It's only got 2 traction tyres, and quite frankly it doesn't need any more. It's got some great grip, lovely painted finish, fine wire handrails. You just see the attention to detail starting to become a little bit more prominent in this model. Well, as that goes by, I think we'll get this great L.M.S 8F out. So I need to just go and operate some points so that we can bring this out onto the downward main line. So points B need to be set straight, and all being well I can drive this now onto the downward main line. Yep, just coming out nicely. So I'm just going to remember to set points B to curve so we don't have a derailment, and that should mean that both these locos now are set for continuous running on their main lines. Let's have a look at this 8F. As I've said before, the big old Ringfield motor sticking out the back of the cab still looks a great model though, doesn't it? Just slowing down around this curve slightly as the resistance of those Hornby 00 wagons builds up, and then we'll watch it go around the back of the layout, through the station and back towards the camera. I've said this before, but a great model, and still looks good even though it's based on the Hornby 00 model that was available, I believe, in the late 50s. Smaller diameter driving wheels, so the valve gear looks quite busy. All the motion looking great. So that's going now under the girder bridges, and we'll take another look at the Duchess of Sutherland as it approaches. I think this looks really fantastic as it goes round the layout at a nice scale speed. I think the passengers are perhaps getting a bit fed up, so maybe we'll just go to the controller and see if we can get it up to a more realistic passenger express speed. So we'll just put a little bit more on the controller, picking up speed slightly as it goes through the station. Coaches sound good. And here comes the 8F. Well, I think that's probably nearly the end of our running session this time. I hope you've enjoyed the choice of locos. I think we'll have something a bit different next week. Maybe move into the diesel electric or slightly more modern type of loco, so I'll see what I can find for the next running session. So while we watch this lovely painted Duchess of Sutherland making its way around the upward main line, until the next video, I'll say goodbye.